Hi, I'm Annabelle.
And I'm Bobby.
Some people like to do competitions without preparation, and entering just on the weekend of the event for fun, for a social dance, is totally cool. But if you're the kind of person who likes a little preparation, here are some tips. Our first tip is to know the format of the contest that you're going to enter before you're in the contest. Ways to find this out include reading the description on the website, where usually you can take note of the type of structure that the contest is going to have, as well as the tempos that you might be required to dance.
Yeah, a lot of finals will have lots of different formats. You can have all skates, you can have jams, you can have spotlights, you can have dual spotlights, and each of those is going to require a different preparation for while you're working on this stuff.
You can also look at past year's videos and watch those to get an idea of what kind of preparation other people have done in terms of choreography, no choreography, social dancing primarily, etc.
Yeah, you can just get a good feeling of the contest by reading the rules and watching the old ones. The next step is choose some clothing. And yes, you want your competition clothing to look good. You also want it to be comfortable. That's very important.
You really want also to practice in those clothes.
Boom.
If you have tried them out, you can make sure that any tricks you're going to do, things will stay in place, that they're comfortable, you have the range of motion that you need, and then when you get into the competition, you're not worrying about whether that shirt's there or not.
For instance, these pants, love them. A little bit of a corset here can restrict movement. The next step is to get comfortable with adrenaline. How?
You want to take
How?
How, may I ask? You want to take every opportunity you can to dance in front of other people, potentially with the pressure on. For example, going into a jam circle or doing a social demo, maybe even doing performances in your local area. But the more times that you are able to be out dancing in front of other people with those butterflies in your stomach, the more comfortable you're going to be able to dance your normal dance, even though you may feel very nervous. The next step in your competition prep is to film yourself.
Now, why do we think that you have to film yourselves? Well, almost every single contest is judged by judges watching you dance. And so you want to know what they're seeing. You want to see what you look like while you're dancing so you can have a good objective opinion of how you look when you dance.
One of the tricks, though, is not to wait until the last minute to do that filming. If you film yourself just a day or two before the contest and you see all sorts of things you want to change, there's not really that much time to change it. Instead, you want to film early on, then you know what your goals are going to be. You can make some adjustments and have a lot of time to prepare.
And how much and when you do that filming is totally personal, because
some people like evaluating, some people not good to see themselves dance. So, it's completely personal preference.
I mean, yeah. They know what I'm talking about. And if you've watched yourself on tape, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, there's a change in the weather and a change in the sea.
The next step is to practice dancing through your mistakes.
Mistakes are inevitably going to happen during a contest as our adrenaline is high and you never know what's going on. So you want to make sure that when you're practicing, you've gotten into the habit of always continuing your dance, even if something happens like a disconnect or if you mix up a trick. In this way, you can make sure that when the adrenaline is high, you're able to keep on dancing because it's already been a habit.
And this is something that you want to do, especially a few practices before the comp. You just want to dance through everything.
I'll even change the way I strut my stuff.
Another important step in preparing for your competition is choosing only one or two main goals for it.
Now, what do we mean by main goals? Well, small goals are things that are like, I'll change a little footwork thing here, or let's work on that move and get it polished there. You can do several of those in preparing for a contest and you should be fine. The main goals are the things that apply throughout your dancing. That could be a technique that applies throughout your dancing, like I want to pulse correctly in this contest, or it can be psychological, like I kind of want to, I always get in this weird headspace. In this contest, I really want to try to not be in that headspace, and that is a large goal.
Another example of a main goal is how you are representing your whole dance in this particular contest. For example, you might focus more on improvisation and social dancing in one. You might focus more on showmanship or tricks in another one. So it can also be large scale in that sense.
The main thing, again, is that you can only do so many of those goals if they're going to take out, if they're going to be throughout your entire dancing. And so limit it to one or two, and you should be setting yourselves up for success. What you just saw is Annabelle's ritual. Before a contest, in her hotel room, when no one else is watching, she puts on What a Feeling and she dances. And that gets her so pumped. And then she throws water on herself. And that gets her in the perfect headspace for doing that contest. And so that's our tip, is find a ritual. And seriously, like for instance, about an hour before the contest, we'll go and we'll have a drink together. And it's just a little something to kind of like find peace with ourselves, relax a little bit before we go out there and have to dance in front of hundreds of people and the entire YouTube.
For some people, that type of ritual could actually be social dancing all the way up to the contest because you don't want to think too much about it.
Dancing really goofy before the contest, or some people, they like to just listen to music, like like a good pump you up kind of music.
Like Michael Phelps.
Or like What a Feeling. All right, it's a few days before the contest. You're at the workshop weekend. Right now, one of the most important things you can do is a little something we called sleep, food, and water.
You want to prioritize your health. When you're at these dance weekends, it's really easy to avoid that extra hour of sleep just because you are having a good time dancing, or skipping dinner because you wanted to stay at the last class. You want to make sure that when you're going into a high-pressure situation, you have all the fuel you need, all the rest you need, and you're healthy.
All right, you've done all that work before the contest. Now, what are you going to do during the contest? Nothing!
Absolutely nothing.
This is because, ideally, all the work that you went into preparing the contest made all these changes consciously move to muscle memory where they become subconscious. So that ideally, when you get out there and the music starts, you just have to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Just dance your dance.
Ideally. All right, you've done the contest, you practiced your butt off, you now walk away from the contest. Your job is not done yet because you have some very good information at your fingertips right after that contest, and so you need to check in.
You can check in with yourself, watch video of yourself, see how you're feeling, how you felt you did with your goals. You want to check in with your partner. If you have a strictly partner, obviously you probably had shared goals. You want to see how it felt for each other. Or even with a Jack and Jill partner, you might want to see whether they had a good time, whether they felt good about the dance, etc.
Yeah, and you can use all that information to help you plan your goals for the next contest. And so,
check in.
Check in. Bonus goal and perhaps, probably, I would argue the most important goal out of all of this. And that is prioritize a healthy headspace.
It's really easy to get critical of yourself when you're putting your dance on the line, you're dancing in front of other people, you're being judged, literally, by other people. But if you can focus more on how you feel about the contest, if you can enjoy the journey, you will have a much more fulfilling experience.
And this is not just for the contest. You want to practice this throughout your entire practicing. So every time you walk into that door and get ready to start practice, you want to get yourself in a healthy headspace, and throughout that practice, reinforce that healthy headspace. And that will make a huge difference, not only on how your dancing comes across and the spirit with which you're dancing, it'll also just make you a lot happier.
Absolutely, prioritize the enjoyment.
In terms of how you want to plan for dancing.
You can always look also at previous year videos in order to get performance or something like that. These ways are ways to make yourself more comfortable while those butterflies are buzzing around in your stomach, and then you can dance your normal dance.
Butterflies buzz?
I'm already.
Do you have bees in your stomach? There you go.
Time. And all of these people will give you very valuable information.
And that information is how you make your goals for the next contest. The circle of life.
I have nothing to hold.